Alright, listen, all I'm gonna say is it's crazy how much of a difference 24 hours can make, because I definitely wasn't expecting that, but I'm very happy with how the Vancouver Canucks performed in this one. Both teams on the second half of a back-to-back, but the Vancouver Canucks with a very depleted roster, no Phil Hedl, no Teddy Bluger, John Lekkerimäki, or Quinn Hughes. It really left the healthy players on this roster with no choice but to dig deep and find that next gear, which they absolutely did. I'm looking at guys like Phil Hronek, who really stepped up in a big way, had a great night, stepping in to play that #1 defenseman role. You also had Elias Pettersson. This guy just keeps getting better and better as the season goes on. He had a great game the other night against Montreal, and tonight he unloaded one, a classic Pettersson clap bomb. Great to see that on full display. The whole Boeser, Kane, and Reichel line was actually very dangerous. I actually like Kane's game tonight. He had a good pass over to Boeser in that first period. And Boeser also had his best game of the season after missing a couple of late chances against Montreal and Nashville. He fires back today with a multi-point effort. Lukas Reichel, newly acquired, also showing lots of flashes of skill, had a couple of great looks today. Almost got his first with the Canucks, but it's coming real soon, I can tell you that for sure. But how could I forget the MVP of this game, Kiefer Sherwood? You gotta sign the guy. He scored 2 goals today. Could have had himself 3 or 4, 1 disallowed goal. The guy's just a machine. He does it all. A complete stud. I love this player. And yes, I get it, I'm full glazing right now, but it doesn't matter. It's well deserved. You just love to see the passion from a guy like that. After he scores every single goal, he gets fired up like it's his first goal in the NHL, or like a Stanley Cup game clinching goal, but it's just some random goal on a Sunday night. You just love to see that. Anyways, let's go through the game, starting off with the first period of play. Early in this one, Sherwood walks Bouchard like a dog. Could have had a nice goal, but it's a good save from Pickard, keeps it out. And then late in the period, Evander Kane chases down this puck, good effort, spins this one over to Boeser, who's in on goal, one-on-one with Pickard, and he gets it by on the backhand, makes it 1-0 for Vancouver. Demko on the other end, solid as a rock as we head to the first intermission. And in the second period, the Vancouver Canucks find themselves on the power play. They move it around, and Phil Hronek feeds Elias Pettersson, who wires this one by Pickard. He didn't even see it coming, makes it 2-0. Beautiful shot right there. On the other end, it's Nugent Hopkins in one-on-one with Demko, but he makes a great save to keep it out. And then here, halfway through the game, Sherwood gets a puck here. He's in on goal, has a step, gets it by Pickard, and he scores, but Tyler Myers was offside by a little bit, so the goal gets called back. Unfortunate, but what can you do? Drew O'Connor, I got a comment on this play here to create the goal, draws in the defender, and then drops it to Sherwood, creates the space. You love to see stuff like that. After, it's McDavid making moves. He tries to go solo, but Demko stands tall. And after that, it's Bouchard with a nice pass over to Leon Draisaitl on a breakaway, and he finally beats Demko to make it a 2-1 game. But then, with a minute remaining, it's Kiefer Sherwood who gets this pass from Brock Boeser. He walks in on Ekholm, pretty innocent looking play, but he makes him look stupid, walks him completely, and then goes in on Pickard to snipe it by, make it a 3-1 game, and that one will count. What a goal from Sherwood there. In the third, it's Tyler Myers, who continues to have a rough game. First he went offside, and then here he can't get the puck out. It falls to Jack Roslovic, who comes in and scores his first goal as an Oilers short side, makes it a 3-2 hockey game. Sasson makes a nice play to P.O. Joseph with a drop pass. Here is a great look in the slot, but it's a good save from Pickard. And then the Oilers get themselves a power play. You cannot take penalties late in the game against the Oilers because they're going to punish you. It's McDavid here who walks in. Nice feed to Draisaitl, and he knows what to do there. Puts it by Demko and makes it a 3-3 tie. Boeser tries to feed Reichel here, and he just barely misses. Nice feed from Boeser, and good to see Reichel move to the space there. I forgot to mention, early in the second, Reichel had a good chance to feed Tyler Myers, but he just could not get his stick on this. But anyways, back to the third period. No one scores, so we need overtime, and in the overtime period, the Oilers had the first couple of chances, McDavid on goal, but he just missed. The Canucks picked up the puck. They come back the other way, and it's Boeser who risks one on goal, and Sherwood gets on the end of it to tip it in and win the game for the Vancouver Canucks. They take it 4-3. Definitely a sigh of relief after a couple of tough losses to the Montreal Canadiens and the Nashville Predators, both 1-goal game losses. So it's nice to get the win. Next one is a big one, quite possibly the biggest home game of the season, as it's the Canucks and the Rangers. JT Miller back in town for the first time since the trade, but until then, give me your thoughts on this game in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you're new, peace out, and take care.